What's going on, Toby?
What's going on? Welcome to the next episode of the Hidden Power Podcast. My name is Dusty Gogo, and joining me today is the wonderful Lumio's Post. Hey, Lumi.
What's up?
Doing?
My name's Soul Silver Art. I'm in Italy right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were
Eating
Lumi.
the calamari.
I got you confused. You're both very similar to me.
Lord Keeper Ronald will be joining us very shortly.
I do not want to rate these based on objective truth. I want to rate these on our three personal opinions.
Ooh,
That's
let's go.
That's what we're doing.
Oh no, this is fun.
We're gonna do that, but if we don't know, if we're like at a stalemate, we would start bringing objective stuff.
Sure.
You know, like
Sure.
Then
I'm
super chats
totally cool
win
with that.
the vote.
All right. Let's wait, what did the what?
Yeah, like if you super chat Toby right now, you get to place whatever we're talking about wherever it needs to be. Do we all agree on that?
No, that's not how. I mean, I appreciate the super chat, but that's definitely not how. This is us three. I don't know.
Oh, okay, right.
I will be bringing up a lot of objective stuff because what's the point of me going? Like, you bring up Septile, I'm gonna be like S. No, that's not the point. What would be the point of that? You know?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Is it like, it's not like rank the best starters. It's like rank the starters by how good they are in their own games, or based on how well you. Yeah, I guess that's so subjective. Just like
what?
It will be subjective, but it'll us being objectively subjective. You know? Where it's like,
how about this? Let's rank them.
don't just put your bias. Think of also your bias is 50% of it. It's going to be also, do I generally think this is a perfect design or not? You know?
Yeah,
or
the question is though that like because you spend a
Pokemon
lot of time thinking about Pokemon designs. So like with
It doesn't have to
Torterra,
be design. It just
let's
has
take
to be
Torterra
like,
for example. Torterra is probably
I think
my.
it's a perfect Pokemon.
I agree.
Like for example,
but
like,
I
think
can't
Pokemon,
tell you why.
But I can tell you why. But first, this is a good example. Torterra, I think, is
it's a political
better,
debate.
as a
just feel it.
Pokemon.
I
think it's better than Sceptile. But you told me to give you just my subjective opinion.
Sure.
So should I say S or should I say A?
Its design is dynamic. It both of its types are represented in the design through the color, through the objects. I think it has just like for like a turtle, it has really good proportions. For me, it's an animal. Like it looks like an animal,
strong.
Like a creature. A monster.
It feels strong just to look at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, is that a good thing?
That's all.
Yeah,
Those are all
I think
good
so.
It's a
For
good thing.
final form,
It's a good thing because it's supposed to look strong, and it looks strong. What's also cool is that it still looks friendly, like it's a gentle giant, and it comes across like it. I think it's a perfect for what Pokemon should be, which is monstrous, but also still something you can befriend.
Yeah.
And
that's a good point. That's a good point.
in terms of the concept, they executed the concept perfectly.
S tier.
I think S tier.
Okay. I don't know if we're gonna. I don't know if we're actually even doing this yet because then the thing is, and I'm gonna ignore like mega forms and stuff for the moment.
Yeah.
But then, like, okay, what is another starter Pokemon that you?
What would a bad design?
Let's do Emboar, for example, something that we could disagree on.
Okay, Emboar. I really like the design of Emboar, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. We'll just put a D for the moment. What do you guys think about Emboar?
I'll go first. I also think that for what they were trying to do, it is nearly perfect. I don't think it's an S tier. But I think it's like, again, it's monstrous while also being something that looks badass, something that could be your companion and help you around. Again, based on the lore and the origin, I think they did a good job implementing the Chinese aspects. But let's see what.
But it's the third. But it was the third firefighting type starter Pokemon in a row.
So that's a good context for why you would not like it. But I always look at Pokemon just based on their own merit and not like the context.
Yeah, I agree on that. Like I'm at the point where like I don't get like it was frustrating at the time. I'm past it.
No,
like
I don't
you know
care
what I
at all
mean?
anymore.
Like
yeah.
This doesn't
it's
matter
similar
to me.
Like Ultra Sun and Moon, for example. Like at the time, people are like, oh, another Sun and Moon game. But if you're just gonna pick to play at one of those two games, I would personally always pick Ultra Sun and Moon. I think is more enjoyable.
Yeah, that was the last one I played.
Sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think.
Move this stuff down here.
Yeah, you know this. It's tough doing a tier list with Ron, honestly, because I'm thinking about this now and I'm like,
oh, I'm sorry.
Like I'm used to doing these with a little bit of a little bit of a smirk on my face. Like
you can have the smirk. You're
we're
like
kind of just having fun with it.
But for example, if you gave it like a D, then it would just have ended up in B tier.
Okay. What is a starter Pokemon here that we think is a D? So we have an idea of range. What actually is a D tier
Cinderace.
You think Cinderace?
I think Cinderace. So here's the other thing. My criteria for a starter Pokemon, for yeah, for starter Pokemon is like, I don't want it to look or have too many human attributes. That's weird for me. You know,
Is that
when I think
Pokemon
of
or Pokemon in
Pokemon,
general?
they are dogs. They are pets. They're friends, but my dogs are friends. You know what I'm saying? And I feel
Is that
like
Pokemon or in general or just starter Pokemon for you?
starter Pokemon.
That's odd for me because
Think about
starter Pokemon
Charizard.
are the most like
I think about
human in terms
Sceptile.
of personality.
Yeah.
I agree with Dusty on that, but I also don't know that I agree that it's D tier. And I also, by the way, quite like I have no reason to like it. Like I'm not a football person or anything, but I think the colors work together, and I think it like for what it's going for, it does that. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
I'm not
a fire rock rabbit footballer.
I've
I'm not
seen
a
iterations
Gecko
of it.
person. Doesn't mean like like it doesn't. You don't need to like the
Yeah.
origin to like what they did
No.
with the origin. You know.
I think
Yeah.
Here's if
Okay.
you're asking me, my no, this is not a problem, but I generally think the starters are among the best designs in general because they actually try
Sure.
the hardest. So like I can't say any of them are bad Pokemon. They could be bad starter designs.
we're
If-
talking about
if
them
that's what
against each other, I guess.
if we're talking against each
Yeah.
other, some of the worst, I don't think it's Cinderace. I can understand why it would be Cinderace. So like we can talk about it if you want to talk about it. For me,
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
worse would probably it used to be Inteleon, but I like Inteleon now.
I like
Yeah,
Like,
Italian.
I
there's
love
definitely.
it.
Yeah, this is true. I guess what I'm trying to do right now is separate my personal bias, which is like valid in this conversation, but also like I just don't like. I just think, there's some things about some of these starters where I'm
Hey,
like,
guys.
this isn't my preference. You know
Where's
what I'm saying?
Inteleon?
We have the Gigantamax instead. For some reason.
We have
It's just the
Gigantamax.
Gigantamax,
There's just
that's
not
all.
Inteleon on
if
this
it's
list.
just a
So
Gigantamax,
skinny.
that's an S.
You can't see it.
That's wild. Okay.
Well, I
What's
guess
your opinion on Inteleon, for example, Toby?
I think it is okay. I think it's very middle of the road, maybe even on the lower end. It's in a similar
Yeah.
camp to Cinderace to me.
For a
Something I
Pokemon,
don't
think
like
it's
about
a
it-
middle of the road, but for like a starter, sorry, for a starter, it's among the worst, but it's still as a starter a good,
Yeah.
okay Pokemon. You know,
I think there's a flaw below this, and I think it's where Pokemon like Delphox or Quaquaval live. I think that's why I've not put
Oh,
them
yeah.
in D tier. I
forgot Delphox is also my least favorite.
Okay, well, let's talk about that then. Let's talk about Delphox. So I think Delphox is like just a really bad starter Pokemon. Now, can I articulate as to why? There is the humanoid aspect, but it also both doesn't feel like a strong partner to have, which is something you want at the end of your journey. I think. Like you want.
Why not?
no, I kind of disagree with that,
I don't see
and
that.
I don't even
think-
like it that much.
If,
But I
yeah,
disagree
like
with that.
it's my least favorite, but like I disagree that
It's
it doesn't feel like a
Hermione.
strong.
Wh-
It's a
wh-
wizard.
when you
It
when you
feels-
compare it to like, and granted the designs are different, right? But like Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise, Meganium, Typhlosion, and Feraligatr, for example, which obviously set the convention. When you compare it against any of those six, it feels like, I don't know, fragile. It just in its design. Maybe it's
No, I
'cause of
see
the
that. I see
daintiness of
that.
its traits. I'm not sure. It
I
just
think
it doesn't
yeah,
excite
yeah.
me. It just doesn't excite me.
you're describing these like beasts, you know?
Right,
these
and that's in
Fucking
my head when I
monsters,
think about
these
like
things that you can-
Emboar and Torterra, that's what they are. They're like they start out these cute little pals that evolve into these incredible monsters that you have tamed. And like I think that's like a key part of it.
I mean,
I do think there's
Fennekin
something else
is
here that-
not close to how. It's like in terms of vibe, Vennekin is completely different than Delphox.
No, I
think
mean, I
there's something
agree.
else that we're
I
not-
think
maybe not taking
Fennekin's really
into
great.
account
I just think Delphox doesn't work.
It's the promise of the starter Pokemon. How closely is the promise of the starter Pokemon that you choose fulfilled when it finally evolves? And like I feel like that disconnect is usually when someone doesn't like the final stage. Like for me, Inteleon is not what I wanted Sobble to become. Sobble is this like weirdo, very reptilian. It has a lot of like reptilian features, right? Things that you would not see in a mammal or whatever. Like maybe something like a cartoon. I don't know. Like its hands are like just two little round nubs. It's got this spiral tail, and obviously you can find a through line from that to Inteleon. But I was looking for like a weird giant gecko, not a gecko,
Here's the
a chameleon.
here's the thing. Looking for a chameleon makes total sense, and to be fair, Inteleon has traits of that. But
Yes.
the thing is that I never judge a Pokemon based on my expectations if it literally is not promised in the original.
Yeah,
The
it is
problem
subjective.
with starters also is that it's going to be different. It's not going to just be an older version of the pre-evolved form.
I would argue in the first couple generations, it's a pretty clear through line.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
by
ways-
generation 8, I think we understand
Yes.
that like Torterra doesn't look like a Turtwig. It's like
I know. I disagree.
No,
think
I disagree with
Turtwig
you
to
there,
Torterra
like-
is like
it's
that's
a
what you
perfect
get.
progression. I think it's perfect
Yeah.
progression. But it's not like the what's the promise that Turtwig gives you? I don't know.
the promise is that you're gonna get this little grass turtle. That this like earthy grass turtle. It's slow. It's literally like the same thing, but just like it's.
I guess the difference is that,
form
for
of it.
example, Torterra doesn't
Mhm.
become anything like genius in terms of concept. It's genius design, but in terms of concept, it is World Tour
Yeah.
Turtle, and
So-
that is kind of already promised. While Inteleon is like, no, we're gonna slowly make it a spy, and that's
Yeah.
fine. That's a good concept, but it's not something that you would naturally think of because it's out of
Yeah, no, totally. I guess
Mm.
that's something that like as content when I'm watching your videos run, that's the stuff that like makes your videos great. All your collaborators, genius because of all these little connections. But I do think personally a lot of Pokemon that I like don't need to be this big extravagant thing. They don't need to have like 10 different things woven together perfectly. Like something like
don't
Charizard
need.
is lit. Yeah. No, you don't need. But like I guess what I'm saying is like Turtwig doesn't go on that transformation, and I'm fine. I like that. I like that it's just like a simple thing. I actually, and I'm mostly talking about starter Pokemon because I think like when we're talking about like a random Pokemon that you find in the wild somewhere in the world,
Anything.
yeah. And then that's where I think a lot of the stuff that you guys do is like
Here's
is, like,
what's
spot
the
on.
problem with Inteleon, for example, is that it's hard to see it as a species. Okay,
yes.
and that's the real problem. If we had
Yeah.
a spy,
No, you nailed it. You nailed it.
spy chameleon Pokemon that is like rare or it's just not
Mhm.
a starter, totally fine. But
It's
Pokemon
just like
should have
that's what it
jobs.
is. Yeah.
I think Rillaboom does it the most naturally out of the three because Gorilla's drum. It's like
Yeah.
and it looks the most natural for the job that it has. Also, music is a natural thing. You don't need to be a musician, like in
Yeah.
terms of profession. You could just do that, you know.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So, but Delphox, like I agree, it's my least favorite. So okay, we're gonna put it in D. But I think I do think it's still like the reason why for me it's my least favorite is because there's just so many improvements that I would give it. It's out of
Yeah.
all these,
Sure.
I would redesign it the most.
I think
And
I flipped
it's-
on Delphox. As soon as like talking about like Legends EA,
Mm-hmm.
I thought about using Legends EA in like this new battle system where like Delphox has a wand and is casting it has a specific
That could
fighting
make it
style
feel
in the game
cooler.
because
That could
it's
make it feel very
casting
cool.
spells at a distance.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is so cool and it's unique to the Pokemon. And since that happened, like whatever,
Listen, I'm
5
Actually,
months ago,
that's really
I love Delphox now.
That's
Just
really
the thought of that is so cool.
interesting because the new fight system is like this in battle like thing, and the starters are based on the RPG. You actually can have like 3 very unique fighting styles across
Yeah.
Delphox, Greninja, and Chestnut. They all do very different things, and I think that's kind of cool. Actually, that kind of makes me excited to use them. Toby, if you
Oh,
want
and
to
even
in
later
Inteleon,
design-
it's like not my thing, but like that's
well, yeah,
kinda
a lot of the
cool.
later designs, especially the later starters, you need to see them in action, and when you do, you appreciate them way more. And I think that should
Yeah.
be part of the. We shouldn't be just talking about their Sugimori art,
Yeah.
Inteleon is very interesting and very entertaining, and that's
Yeah.
that's a part of what makes a Pokemon good. So I would say he's a good
Yeah.
Pokemon because of that. It's not solely
get-
design.
I'm also thinking now about like even since Generation 1, right? It's like these Pokemon, from Charmander to Charizard, it's pretty much the same thing. It progresses. There's slight differences, but there's like a payoff. There's a surprise at the end when you train it up all the way. That's the reward for investing your time in
I
that
would say
Pokemon,
Venusaur is a surprise, but
which is the wings. Yeah. The bulb just like opens. But even Blastoise gets like these like hydro cannons on its back, right? That's
The
like
thing
a
is that,
little bit of a twist.
we'll talk about it once we get there.
Okay.
We'll continue to the next Pokemon. The only thing is that Cinderace, I think it's a B.
Okay.
Toby, what do you think it is?
Yeah, Cinderace does do what Scorbunny promises. I
I'm
think
not
that's fair.
sure that it is a B. Personally, I feel that
You think
there
it's
is
C?
like I don't think it's that much better than Inteleon, and I don't think it is that close to Ember. That would be my feeling.
I think again that when you see it in all the other different kinds of media for both of them, but let's say talk about Cinderace, it's a great Pokemon. It's like
Okay. Well, then let's use this as our framework, and if we want to change anything later, we can. So we got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, you can put it in C if you think it's a C and he thinks it's a D, and I think it's a B.
I think it's
C.
I think it, yeah, C or D would be for me.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Then you put it in C. You can put it in C.
What I have issue. This is something that I don't know if this is a problem, guys. Can I just like admit to you? I'm always talking about stuff that doesn't exist, right? So I'm looking at Cinderace thinking,
That's actually
why
funny.
is
That's
it
our
mono
difference in philosophy.
fire? Why does it not have rock type for the rock that it kicks up? Why does it not have electric type for the athleticism that it offers, right? Like there could be other ways. And then it's like if you add those, now you can add new elements to the Pokemon. I also just don't like the body proportions of Cinderace.
Yeah,
but I
that
feel
is
like
my least
it
favorite
could have been a
aspect.
stronger design.
No, I think it is a C, actually, because when I look at it, like, the only indication that it's fire type is the fact that it's got a red head thing and red shorts.
Bro, yes, you're speaking.
And, like, you look at the other fire types, almost all of
They have
them
fire?
have literal
really good
fire on
point,
their
Toby.
design as part of the
I
design.
don't think that's necessary for a fire type. to be-
I don't think it's necessary either,
But it is an
but
outlier.
it helps, and I think it's
Like, even
Why did-
Incineroar has the fire belt.
I think it has so many fire motifs in Cinderace. I don't like like that's the weirdest critique for me, but I understand what you're saying.
It doesn't.
Well, let's move on because I definitely
that's
don't want
not
to
why
spend all
it's a
night
bad
doing
design,
this. Like,
but
I want
I
to
like
like
it.
let's try and keep it to like a few minutes per Pokemon. So
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
let's
He's
okay.
like, wants to eat dinner.
What do we consider then a B tier starter that is worse than Ember but better than Cinderace or Inteleon?
Chestnut is maybe B minus for me. Chestnut or B? No, Chestnut maybe it.
I want a
B.
more solid.
I think Chestnut has weird proportions, and I like Chestnut. It was one of my first. I've always liked Chestnut. I like Chespin. I think it's bulky, so people hate on it because it's not like the Knight in Shining Armor. It's more of a tank. I just think like I feel like I wish it had like fluff on its chest or
How do-
like,
how do you
its
feel about
legs or
that?
Something yeah, I don't know.
Is that a B for you, or is that?
How do we feel about that? Okay, instinctually, that would be my example of like a B tier.
Meganium B.
I
How
think
do you
there's
guys
some
feel?
bias here.
Okay, what's the bias?
Here's the thing. Again,
bias.
as a Pokemon, I think Meganium is B.
Mm-hmm.
As a starter, I don't know.
I think Meganium's good. I think as a design, it's lacking because it's literally just a rubber dinosaur with like a flower on its neck. But I love the line, but that's subjective.
I wouldn't change anything about it. So it's like a B minus for
I
me.
would give it some ornaments. I would give it something. I like the leaf on the head from Bayleaf. Like it could have some more.
Agree
stuff
that
going
it's a
on.
very simple design, but it's also like just because it's simple doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. And I actually, so where I stand is that like it's definitely not like accelerating up into the highest tiers, but I don't think of it as like a bad Pokemon. It is basically in my brain like it's the middle of the road. Like what is more middle of the road than that?
Bottom
You know?
half of
B
stars,
is-
though. It's not in the middle of stars in my mind.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
So
Here's,
wait,
here's my actual critique. of it.
neutral.
The reason why I'm hesitant for B, but again, you can put it in B, is that I am literally more entertained by Cinderace, and that's what I'm judging these. How entertained am I in? Who cares about which is entertainment is design, animation, everything in media.
Okay.
That's what I'm basing this Pokemon on, not just design.
How do you feel about it,
And-
Dusty?
I love Meganium. Like if you again, I'm thinking about it like if you chose Chikorita, you're happy with Meganium.
But
and I chose
is that a
Chikorita, and
good
I-
thing? Like that it just
Yeah, I think that's a
became,
good thing.
that it just grew up to be Chikorita, but the same.
Yes,
longer.
yes.
Like,
I'm gonna put it
Again, because like you only have your starter Pokemon for what, like an hour of a game, 45 minutes, and then you get the mid stage, and then you're gonna play the rest of your life with the final evolution. Like it should be a continuation of the starter, I think.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
doesn't
put
matter.
it.
continuation is just.
I'm gonna put it. So I want to keep it moving, right? I'm gonna put it in C tier. But
Ron, we should get you on Hidden Power to
you
talk
guys,
for 7 hours.
you
about
guys
this.
have to produce for me a Pokemon that, in your mind, sits between Ember and Meganium.
Well, I said Chestnut, but
comfortably.
and Dusty, what was your? I said it's B. What is Chestnut for you?
Yeah. What is B? Is B like good?
yeah, it's
He's
okay.
just good Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah, I think Chestnut's good. I think B minus. Yeah, I like it, so I would put it in B. but I see a lot of areas that I would change. That's kind of the thing.
Same. So
Like
Okay.
if it's it can only be S tier if it's like I wouldn't change anything.
But then here's my thing. First of all, I think it's the same as I think it's solidly
Really?
C tier. But I also what my thing is like when I compare it against Meganium, I think Meganium's way better. Do you
I don't think
not?
it's way better. I think
Okay,
they're in the same
I don't
tier,
think it's way
maybe.
better. I just think it's better. That I think
Here's this is fun because this is
Yeah,
like
I'm
just
having
us
fun.
talking about our philosophy of Pokemon. What's the point of disliking it basically? Like that's just my philosophy where it's like it's more like again, just think about it. Chestnut existing. It's like that would be a cool big knight guy that is protecting you and it's like you if it was next to you you'd be
Sure.
like this is a cool dude.
It's
like, why-
Grass Blastoise. I see it.
like
Grass toys.
think of it if it literally was your partner and that's why I'm thinking of starters.
Okay. That is fair. That is fair.
I do see that. I do see
It's
that.
the captain of your team. It's gotta have your back.
That's
yeah,
why it's slightly
I think,
a plus because he's one of the best in that respect. Like he would be a really good partner.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave it. I'm gonna leave it in
see
C
it.
tier just for a second. We can move it. I'm still looking for that Pokemon that is like, what is solidly B that we all agree? We're just like, yep, that is the middle of the road starter. Like,
The problem really
yeah.
is I
for
love
alligator. I think Blaziken is S tier, but that's bias.
Okay,
that's
okay,
not what I'm
wait,
asking
wait,
right now.
Maybe it is. Here's the thing. I love Fraligator. Okay, top 50 for me, but it is
Yeah.
technically a B. It is not that crazy of a Pokemon, you know,
No.
in terms of like.
So honestly, it's very similar to Charizard.
I'm having to.
Is Charizard B tier?
God, is it really?
Charizard's
do we
A.
prefer
Charizard's
Em-
A.
Do we prefer Emboar to Feraligatr?
As a Pokemon, it's just a
I
better
don't.
Pokemon Emboar, in my opinion. But
I think Emboar is C tier. So I don't know what this Emboar A tier thing is.
yeah, how did it end up at A then?
Because Toby's got his hand on the mouse.
Toby, you have to account for all of our opinions.
Oh my god.
No, I don't care. I'm having fun just talking about it.
I don't. The thing is, I feel like I can't be the one to suggest that it's an A tier Pokemon Feraligatr because I know that
I don't
I'm
think it's an A tier.
so heavily biased about this dude. He was my first starter, so I literally
would
just
put it in
cannot be
A.
objective about this.
He was my first Johto starter too.
Yeah,
I just thought,
I would put it in A, but based on what we're talking about, B makes sense.
Toby, he's in my top 50. Is he in your top 50?
I have to do that list.
Actually, probably not. so
So
yeah,
exactly. So then why
probably is B tier.
why is it okay for me? Let's think about it. Why is it okay for me to do it?
Double standard.
Put it in B.
Okay. Look, Dusty, you said something I completely agree with, which is that Blaziken is an S tier.
I think Blaziken
I-
is incredible, and people are crazy. They're like, it's
I could put him
leggy,
in
it's
S tier.
weird. I don't think it's humanoid at all. I mean, it kind of is, but it gives me like, it's like an anime protagonist. It's so cool.
Wow.
Blaziken
He
is-
just,
I
dude,
agree with that.
he just stands,
Top
dude.
5
He just
coolest
towers
Pokemon.
over everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
super,
he's so cool.
super cool. Look how
Can we
angular
pull up
it
a-
is.
Can you look up Blaziken for the chat to see?
I mean,
Just
they
like
know,
Look at Blaziken. they know,
they know what a
Blaziken
Blaziken looks like. They've seen Blaziken. Just gonna do it on a different tab because you never know what's gonna come up. You know.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I think Blaziken's cool. And again, this is a little bit of I recognize that Blaziken starts out as like a cute little chicken and becomes a chicken man.
Oh,
Like that is weird. That is
I
no different than in Inteleon, you know, or whatever. Like so I'm
Nah,
biased
It's
in this
thicker
regard.
than Inteleon. I
Dude,
think Inteleon
this-
how skinny he is.
This
She's
that
definitely
Hoops
thicker.
and Hip Hop did. You saw this,
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
dude.
When he
One of the
evolution, it's
coolest
crazy.
fake one I've ever seen. Oh, what happened there? I don't know. Oh, there you go.
Which one, the
I see
Mega?
it.
One of the coolest. Blaziken
Definitely.
evolution. What's going on there?
Oh, it's crazy.
Keep losing your camera. It's weird. Okay.
Here's actually a good comparison.
All right.
Infernape, I think, is technically a better.
I
think
agree.
it's perfect.
I
So-
agree. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
If we're putting
But
it
I
in
don't
S,
like it
we
as
have to put
much.
Infernape in S. I don't like it as much as Blaziken too, but I think it is perfect. I think it's a perfect fake.
I agree.
Perfect Pokemon.
Can
so
I-
I would put it in S too.
Can I make a pitch?
I think all the Gen 4 starters are S
Can
tier,
I just make
probably.
a suggestion there?
And Poliwrath,
yeah.
I do
Yeah,
agree
yeah,
that it's the most
yeah,
solid
yeah.
three.
Toby, I love that.
The
I see
question
it.
is, yeah,
They
Okay.
have listen because they do everything that Ron likes, which is like all those like you know all the all the inspiration points melded together perfectly. And they are also powerful. They are also a little
They
I don't
were
wanna say
cooking.
humanoid, but you know they can emote, right? They feel like friends
Which-
more than other, animal Pokemon. So I really do think they're S tier for that.
My
reason.
question would
And
be, like,
Blaziken fits in there.
Other than like Swampert or maybe Greninja, I don't know. Like, what water starter is cooler or like?
Greninja's not
Other than
cooler.
Empoleon, I
Greninja's
think
actually like
Greninja's-
B tier.
I think Greninja's S tier as well.
No, Greninja's so overrated.
Who cares if it's overrated? Okay, so people think it's S plus, but it's S tier. That's what overrated means. like
Sure,
people
yeah,
think
yeah. What-
people
yeah,
think it's the
what's
best
scale?
Pokemon ever.
Yeah.
People think it's the best Pokemon ever, but it's like the 10th best Pokemon ever. You know, it's like it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
I don't. Is Greninja that good?
I gotta pull up the chat. What are people even saying right now?
They're
Oh my
agreeing with
gosh.
True Green 7.
All right.
I don't see-
They're all saying Ron is right, everyone else is wrong. Guys, quit. I think is what they said.
Can I see some leaves in the chat for Dusty?
If you're
Come
gonna
on.
say that Charizard isn't overrated, then how
Charizard is
Greninja
overrated. Greninja's
you-
also overrated.
Yeah, but you were gonna put it in C because it's overrated.
No.
No,
See?
no, it's like an A tier Pokemon at least.
It's
I
at
think
least
it's
an
a
A tier.
B. I said
Oh,
I
I'm
B.
sorry, I'm talking about
It's
Greninja.
good. But here's the thing: Charizard is tainted by like baby nostalgia. And
Yeah, but
Charizard is
but
good.
I'm-
no. I'm sorry. Hang on.
and
Hang
I'm
on. Hang
trying
on. Hang on.
to think about
this,
it.
This is such a stupid
trying to
thing.
think about it.
Because like,
I can't remove it. It was like my first stuffed animal.
oh
Like, I
my
love
god,
Charizard, but, like,
Charizard. Everyone's
If
so
I'm okay
nostalgic.
with Sceptile being an A, then you have to remove all your nostalgia.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Oh my god, everyone
Totally,
loves
like,
Charizard.
I've got the
Charizard's
mouse.
so overrated. If everyone loves it, there's probably a reason.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. I
Sure,
think
yeah.
Charizard is at least an A.
I agree. It's at least an A. That might bump up.
We can do it. We can do it. I'm fine with that.
I think
don't
Charizard's
it's- I
A.
just don't think it's S tier. I think if it was designed, Ron, that should be your next video. Redesign 4 artists redesign Charizard, and it's probably going to be
Just
some sicker
Charizard.
designs.
Again, for example, I mean, this is a reason why you've said that I like Pokemon that are deep. And I do, but it's not with all this, it's not because, like, the things that are in S aren't because they're more deep. It's just because of execution.
Yes, yeah.
For all this, it's execution. It's like
Absolutely.
you can have a very simple concept, and if you execute it well, it's awesome. Like
Yeah,
Meganium, I think it's still
beautiful. I totally
well
agree.
executed. I just think it's not as better executed as Infernape, for example.
So
Yeah.
where are we putting Greninja relative to all this?
If I say A, Toby says something, and it's literally just the average of what we say. I say it's S, but what do you think?
Well, I think it's A. What do you think, Dusty?
I want to say B, but I'm going to look up a picture of it. Hold on. I don't
then you
want
can
to
put it
be
in A.
Mr.
All right.
I'm not trying to.
What were
I
you
gotta
going to
look
say
at
about
it.
Charizard, Ron?
I think it's just an A.
I think it's B tier.
There's a reason why people like it.
I think it's A.
Charizard.
At least so. Yeah.
They're both A. I think Greninja is a better Pokemon than Charizard, but I think
Sure.
Charizard is
Sure.
as entertaining as Greninja. You know.
All right.
When I see stills of Greninja in the anime, I think it looks so stupid.
There is. Here's a question.
Just like
Okay.
walking.
In the remaining starter Pokemon, there is one that I think is S tier. What is that one?
For you,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for me. But what do you guys think is the one S tier?
Toby, I think you love Quaquaval.
You'd be close.
I know.
but-
Wait, sorry, no. Sorry, I
was-
don't want to focus on that joke. I have an actual
I-
answer. I have an actual answer. I know
Go.
what the answer is. It's Decidueye. Decidueye is S.
Interesting.
No.
That's my-
Decidueye is
Decidueye
so
is S.
overrated. It is so
Because
overrated.
it's amazing. It's the same thing as Greninja.
Dusty,
I
what
hate
is
it.
the
I
S
hate
tier that I
Decidueye.
think exists in this list? The remaining.
Okay, when I look at this list, I think. Well, what is Toby
Decidueye
think?
is S. Chad agrees Decidueye
Toby's
is
gonna
S.
say
I know that.
Typhlosion. Toby's gonna say Typhlosion, but I think Typhlosion's probably A or B.
Okay.
And I love Typhlosion. I look at Superior and I go, kind of a dope, kind of an incredible Pokemon.
I think Superior is an A+, but I'm not. I'm asking what I think
Interesting.
objectively.
So-
I'm also looking at. I think Samurot's kind of cool. I think.
I love Samus. Samus an S for me, but I would put it in A.
How interesting.
Okay, Rillaboom would be S plus if it banged on its chest and its chest had like a wooden, like what do you want to call it? Like it was bark. Or
Guys,
Here's the thing. I've
guys,
seen
what are
so
you
many
talking
redesigns.
about? It's Swampert, you idiots.
I know that
Obviously
you're
Swampert.
something. I like Mudkips. I like Mudkips.
Are we?
I don't think Swampert is an S tier.
You don't think
Pokemon,
Swampert's S
though.
tier? Dusty,
think
do
I
you
love
not?
Swampert.
Huh?
The Hoenn starters are probably
tier, yeah.
actually my favorite, but like the Sinnoh starters are like undeniable.
Sure, and that's fine. You don't think Swampert is S tier though, Dusty?
On my list,
Mm-hmm.
I think I've raised like 10 unique Swampert. I love Swampert. I would probably put it
never
in
had a Swampert.
like A tier. Swampert's cool because it's just like this giant, like
Okay.
it's the version of Greninja I like. It's like a swampy frog. It's so cool.
Ron,
And
where
it's-
would
it's
you
jolly, it's
put
friendly.
Swampert?
Maybe A
Swampert's
tier.
A at least. I think
Okay,
it's
I'm
also
gonna put it in
at
A.
least.
I'm gonna put it in A. Now let's talk about the ones that you guys thought were S tier. So you said Decidueye.
I think Decidueye is S. I think for what they were going for, it literally is perfect.
Yeah.
It's
And
in-
so
I guess
appealing.
like I
It-
see
as-
it. I see it, but it's not appealing to me. Like I do see it. I see all the like. Yeah, it is kind of. It's like I see it. It is kind of cool that it like it's got the like, what does it do? It like the bow and arrow thing. Like it's I don't know. It's just not for me.
What about? So what tier would you put it in, Dusty?
Let me get a good picture of it. I gotta
Because
imagine it.
actually, I want to do something similar to that because that is something I'm thinking. Because for whatever reason, when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, I definitely was excited for Decidueye before the games came out. Why am I not into it anymore? And I realize it's just because of the 3D model. But actually, when you look at the art and when you look at you're right, Ron. Like,
Art's-
when you look at
yeah,
what they're
the art's
going for,
kinda
you look at the
sick.
cards, you look at the anime. Like, Decidueye is a dope Pokemon.
I think it's literally a perfect starter in terms of
Stuff
like again,
like
how it's
this-
portrayed.
Yeah, actually, do you know what? I just don't like the Sun and Moon 3D model. That's literally it. Otherwise, this is
I don't
insane.
think that. Yeah, I don't think that's should be. A part of
No,
it,
I
of the
agree.
ranking, you know?
I'm sorry, Dusty. There's at least 2 people claiming S tier here, and I actually
Listen,
agree.
it's
I think
fine.
it is. I really do.
I don't know.
I
You can put
actually
the
think
bottom
it's.
of
If I think about it, like relative to like Greninja or something, I'm like, yeah, it's way cooler than Greninja. I think
Yeah,
so.
this is kind of cool.
I
right
think
here.
so.
I don't understand. I don't understand the Decidueye is too humanoid. It's literally the
It's
birds
not
are the only
humanoid.
like it's bipedal. That's just because it's bipedal doesn't mean it's too humanoid. It's
Yeah,
a
and
bird.
I don't think it looks too humanoid because it's got those massive like talons and it's got like.
It might
I
be
don't
the
know.
glasses that
I think
throw
it's pretty
people
cool.
off. The
Okay,
glasses.
now Dusty, you had some very bold claims about Rillaboom.
Yeah, I love Rillaboom. I think it's like S tier for me, and then every time I use it in game, and it like pulls out a thing like that grows,
Yeah.
and then shrinks again, and I can't make it make sense. Like
That's fair.
It literally has the power
in a
to-
world
it's
of
grass type.
biology and magic.
It's a grass
it
type.
just-
It has the ability to
But
make
it's not a
plants
flower.
grow.
I know, but it's like a weird. It's like a trunk.
It's literally also
It's like a
set up
wooden
from the
object.
beginning, like Grookey, the Pokedex entry that it taps
Yeah.
its stick and makes plants grow. It's like that's what it does.
But is that a plant? It's what is it like a
A
like
tree is a
like
plant,
tuber?
yes.
No, I know a tree is a plant, but like it's like a
tree
it's like
is a
It's like
plant.
a carving out of a piece of
It's a
wood.
trunk of a tree.
Yeah, I don't know.
By the way, I just want to say thank you so much.
I don't like that part.
I do
like
need
that
to
it has
interrupt. I just want to say
things-
thank you so much to the like 90 of you who are like have been just hanging out since the beginning of the stream. You're all absolute legends. Don't have anything much to say other than just thank you for listening and hanging out. I might do this more. Okay,
This is fun.
Rillaboom
Thanks for
is
having us,
like
Toby.
not getting higher than Feraligatr in my mind. So where are you at, Ron?
Well, for me it is A, but like I know that there are things that you could critique about it. For
Well,
example, like here's the thing.
Okay.
I agree that like there are other ways that they could have implemented the drum, but here's the thing. I've seen so many redesigns of Rillaboom with the drum on the chest. It does not look good.
Let me see. I'm gonna find one right now.
You could find one that is probably
We'll
good.
change
and that
your
you'll
mind
like.
right now.
I think it's a lot of times it's just clunky.
Okay.
It just looks.
Let's see. Actually, this one's. Hold on. There's
And for just a Pokemon, think of it like a grass gorilla. Who cares about how like the animation in Sword and Shield? Like,
but that
literally-
matters to me. That
because
matters
that's how
because
you were
like,
exposed to it, but that doesn't mean that I'm thinking of media in general. Pokemon as a franchise, everything that it appears in, how it would look
when
like.
I play a Pokemon game, that is how I'm able to be in the world. And if I'm playing a game and it's like it's just like annoying me or
But
whatever. it's like,
Pokemon
I don't-
again, they're
I don't like
literally
how it's
pieces of
represented.
merchandise. Like it's like they're representing so many different kinds of media. Just because you weren't exposed to all the other media
Yeah.
pieces of media doesn't mean that it's a bad Pokemon.
No, but but that's how I'm interacting with it. So I will say this: I think you are right. The ones that are coming up first in search are literally just a circle drum on the chest, and I don't like that. Actually, no.
Sometimes
Here's
it
one.
looks like nipples.
Oh wow, I'm seeing that now. No, the one I'm gonna send you in chat right now is lit. It's just like its chest is made of wood, and I like that so much better.
It looks good. It looks good.
That's
not a
all
bad
I'm
one.
talking about. I'm
But
not
it
talking
does
about
look like nipples.
literally
It
putting
looks
the
like nipples,
object-
dude.
Listen, C dot
They would-
exists.
Well, that because it has nipples. It doesn't look like nipples.
Yeah, yeah, it literally is. Yeah, those are literal nipples.
For anyone wondering.
But I do like Rillaboom. I think Rillaboom's really cool. And again, like, I don't know. It's just like, yeah, there he is.
Okay, well, look, for me,
I don't think the other ones need to be redesigned.
For me,
I'd
it's
say it
I
looks
think
good.
Thwackey is incredible.
For me, it's B tier. You're obviously rating it very highly. You're like AS. Where are you at, Rom?
I didn't say S, but
No,
Wait,
no. I
wait, what?
mean, Dusty's at AS.
I feel like an A plus. I'm biased, so I'm gonna bump it up to like high.
So
A.
I mean, if we were doing that, then yeah, mine is like personally it is an S, but objectively it's an A.
Yeah. No, but we gotta throw a little personality. in here.
I can't believe that this being on the same tier as Swampert.
It's so much cooler, but also
be-
the same vibes as
Doesn't make
Emboar,
sense.
and I don't know
It's
what
actually
Emboar's
they're
doing
very
up there.
similar Pokemon in terms of vibes, but
Yeah.
but
beefy.
here's the thing, Toby. You never give us a reason why Swampert is good. You just said because you like it. I don't think it's good, but like, so like
I think it's sick, dude. I think it's
It
kind of
is-
alien.
it is-
It's a monster
It's
in
the
a lot of ways.
monster mudfish. I don't know how to. It like
it's a great Pokemon.
I like how
it's got such a strong design. I don't know. I can't articulate. That's the problem. But
I think its tail fin looks so strong, right? Like you can understand that it's a water type. That
it is
swings
such
probably
a
kinda
yeah.
fast.
It's like it seems to mesh the idea of earth and water pretty well, like in its
say it
physicality,
mesh-
just in the way it stood. This thing
Okay,
is
yeah.
a causer of earthquakes. Like I totally see that. When it uses moves like muddy water, I'm like, yeah. This is like it is the ultimate fusion of earth meets water, and it's like
I don't think design-wise it has any that much earth in it. It looks like pure water design-wise.
well, it's obviously got that
think
like,
they- I
that
think-
bright orange, which feels very
Yeah, the
earth
bright
toned,
orange is
and then
really
it's got
good.
the way it stood with its arms splayed out just always makes me feel like it's like what does it make me feel
Bouncing.
like? It's like
It's close to the
bracing or
earth.
something.
I get
I
it.
don't know.
The
I don't
stance is probably the thing that's the closest to the ground type. And it's a mudfish, so it's ground.
It's
I'm
mud.
not saying
Yeah,
it's
so
a bad
it's
design.
not sand. It's not
I just
rock.
think
yeah,
like
it's-
and I'm happy to
mud.
say look, I'm happy to say okay, it's an A tier, but then like you've got Rillaboom on the same tier, and I'm like,
But Toby, why
I
is
still don't know how
Rillaboom
Emboar's up there.
worse?
I think Rillaboom is quite a boring design. I think we're okay. I'll do my
Rillaboom is the
best.
closest to the kind of Pokemon that you guys were championing in the beginning, whereas animal with element and it's very good
That's why it's up
evolution.
there for me,
Here's the problem.
Toby.
Here's the
Very good
problem. Here's the problem. Here's the
progression.
problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Blastoise is a blue tortoise, and the water is
That
like
is
blue.
worse.
It's like, huh?
That is a worse hook
Okay.
for a Pokemon.
Hold
Blue
up.
Tortoise.
Hold up. I think the
It's a
problem with
tortoise.
Rillaboom is it's not green enough. That's my honest take. Like I think it's like
You should get on board with that, Ron.
it's a very neutral like design.
sea
And don't get me
green.
wrong, it's very clearly like, oh yeah, it's wood and grass and that kind of thing. But like for me, like the grass doesn't go
Look at
far enough.
Impel-
It is. Huh?
Empoleon's not blue enough. If, by that logic, Empoleon's not blue enough.
It's a hang on, no, because it's like
I feel like I'm actually getting my
because it is
like dream of being on Combine. I feel like it's happening.
Yeah,
right
Because
now.
it's
this is
not-
not calm. This is the opposite.
I
I'm
don't
just
think
watching you guys argue.
I think that Empoleon does a good enough job of showcasing the water type in the physicalness of its design, having a trident for a head.
I think
having
there's
the
enough
fins.
foliage on Rillaboom. There's a lot of foliage on Rillaboom.
I don't think
lot of
there's anywhere
rough
near
edge.
enough. I think there's like, especially like from the front angle, it's just like it's kind of just got a green hairdo. That is, I don't know. For me, it's not what the others on the 80. It's the first one on this list that I
can see
strongly
that.
disagree with. But that's just
Can I
me.
say
And if
something?
it had,
course you
if it
can.
had like armor made of bark or wood,
Yeah, I actually
I think
agree.
that
When
would
you
make
when
it-
you sent me the image of the dude with the nipples, hang on, I'm going to share that again. I think that
they're not
looks great.
nipples. They're areolas, maybe.
I think
That's the same amount of
that
green.
is a much better design. And I still think you could go further with it. I think it could have way more going on, but I do think that's a better.
Like a lot of the
design.
redesign, I'm like, I don't need it. But just like the seeing the wood on its body, how like it's fused maybe with the stick that it originally held as a Grookey. That's all I want.
B-Rad in chat I disagree with what you're saying that monkeys isn't inherently grass type because it literally is monkeys are inherently arboreal. They're very famous for that. So like everybody knows that they're associated with trees.
Not true.
It's
It's true. It's true.
I would disagree with that. But and I get what you're saying though. Like Empoleon does feel more watery, I guess, because of the trident. But the trident technically is only associated with water because of Poseidon. It's not inherently watery. A trident that's more of an agricultural thing.
That's
Like,
another thing.
Hang
Why
on, hang on. Whoa,
Rillaboom
that's
should
a
have
weird
another
point
type.
to make. That's a very strange point. It's not inherently watery. It's only associated with the god of the ocean. What?
I'm saying it's as inherently
It's a steel type. It's
it's
a
as
weapon.
inherently watery as a Rillaboom, which is a gorilla which lives in the forest. Like what? It's like they're very like
An
Embor is
fine. It's
is
not.
a pig on a spit.
It's not just like it's like okay. So Empoleon has webbed feet. It's got giant fins for arms. It's got a trident on its head. It's covered in blue, and it's a penguin. There's all of these things are working together to bring us this, navy monster. Whereas then you've got this like Rillaboom is just a gorilla with a bit of green on it. Like
you
I
can
get
say
it.
that
it's-
about everything that you don't like. For example, I can say Charizard's just a dragon, but like you guys like Charizard. That's the problem. It's like I hate
I
when
put it
people,
in B tier.
I hate when you can say something is just a thing, but like everything is just a thing.
I
Valid.
think Charizard
Like perfect.
better showcases it as a fire-breathing dragon, even if it's just the small detail of the fire on the tail, than Rillaboom does as like a. I don't even feel like it look. I don't know. I can't articulate it. It's fine. You guys think it's there.
We're gonna do this more often, and you're gonna get so good at this.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I'm excited to do more. of
Maybe
these.
so.
So I think it's here's the difference is that this is just me because I'm a weirdo, but like I always think about why I like the things I like. So like I just
Yeah.
like I've ended up with these opinions already. So
Yeah.
so I understand if you're not going every day thinking about why you like this design or not. This is tough to articulate.
See, I think this is a bad design. No, I guess it's fine.
What,
This art is
Zarude?
incredible.
I don't think it's a bad design. It's not my
No, I just don't
one of
prefer
the
it.
worst. Yeah, it's not one of the
I
best.
quite like
designs.
it. It's very feral.
And I do think
Okay.
it communicates dark and grass a little bit better. I see. I see. What you're
Who
saying,
else
Toby.
did anyone else say any of the others were S tier? Did anything jump out as? Oh, you thought I was going to say Typhlosion. I wasn't, and I wouldn't.
Typhlosion's not S.
Wait. Toby, I think actually I do. Maybe what your issue with Rillaboom is that it almost looks like it could embody the normal type. Like it's almost like literally just a gorilla with grass on it. The same way like Pyroar has like the normal type, right? It's just a lion with a fire mane. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what?
Like, it
You're
looks like a
actually
mammal.
weirdly hitting on the kind of thing, but yeah, it is something in that zone. I don't know.
Like it's got a plain.
But here's the thing,
I
Pyroar
can kinda
also
see
like
that.
I can be like, yeah, but Pyroar's mane looks like heraldry, and it like looks regal. Like it's like, and also if you see it in animation, it glows whenever it uses fire. Like I didn't know that until recently. That the mane glows. Like everything you can say is just this. You can strip it.
Let's
the minimal
try and
things.
let's try and speed it up because I'm like flagging a little bit now. So
Yeah.
the
S
Typhlosions.
tier, the next best that I'm seeing here is probably, just personally, is Samurott, or Superior.
Interesting.
Is S tier.
Not S tier, but like just the next best. of the
I
things
think
that are-
I think Samurott is in A. Like I'm pretty comfortable with that.
I'd put it in it.
Pretty happy with it in A.
It's an S tier Pokemon for me personally, but
Sure.
A makes sense.
What
think
about
it- I
Hisui?
think
What
it's one
about
of those
Hisui
Pokemon
and
that, like,
Samurott?
It's
I think it's better than
I think
Ember.
it's as good. I like it less. I think it is. I think there's like a sleekness to Samurott. It looks like it can like charge through the ocean like a torpedo, like a spear or something. And obviously, the Hisuian form is like more jagged.
Renegade Pirate.
So
yeah.
it loses some of that for me. I think it's like a cool character, but I don't know. The
Yeah, like-
Sugimori art is incredible of like base Samurott.
To me, they're in the same tier. I like the original more.
Yeah, I think they're too similar to really have a problem with one over the other, but like I do prefer the original. I think that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
These
These are Pokemon that are hated because
You can
they,
put it
like,
below Swampert if you
deviated
want.
so much.
well,
from,
these
like, the
aren't
base
in
form.
some kind of order for me. Well, I suppose they
Oh,
are
really?
kind of.
They seem
I
like-
suppose they kind of are. Yeah.
Where would you put Superior? I would put it in A, high A too.
So for me,
I think it's as good as Charizard. Like
for me, it's actually a B tier. Again, it's like
Okay.
for me, I think it's better than. See, I think it's better than Rillaboom, but I still think it's B tier. Like but that's just me.
I agree. It's
no,
more
I think-
successful.
I
Than
think-
it's more successful design than a Rillaboom.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, then it at least goes there, right? If Rillaboom is there, then this is at least going there, and that's just a
It
fact.
definitely feels more like a pure elemental grass type, and it still has the weight of like these like big creatures. It
Yeah,
feels
to
like
be honest,
Charizard in that way.
I don't hate it actually. Maybe it is A tier. I might be being too judgmental because I'm not a huge fan of Servine, but actually Superior is actually a pretty great design. To be honest,
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
like all the ZA speculation.
that.
About, like
look at
Superior
that.
being like French has like made me really appreciate it this
All
last
of
year.
Unova made it into A tier in a
I would
list.
agree. I think that Unova Sartars are all 8.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
I think
Emboar
that's
should be
fair.
C tier. I don't. Is my mic on?
Yeah, we're
How many
just
times have I
ignoring you there.
said
Okay,
Yeah.
let's just do a Sceptile. Where's Sceptile going? Come on, Rom. Where's
I
he
think
going?
Sceptile's an A objectively.
I
Yeah,
agree.
but that's
I
just-
agree. It's grass Charizard. It is just a big
I agree. I agree. I think it's
lizard
I think
that
it's
protects you.
I
You can put it
totally,
below Greninja if you
totally
want.
agree.
Oh, dude, I love Sceptile. Here's the thing. Something I would change about Sceptile. I do think the lack of. I kind of wish it still had something on its head, like the.
I think
the head
design wise,
leaf.
it would be too weirdly balanced, where it has a big thing on the head, big thing on the tail.
Yeah, that makes
Mm.
sense. No, that makes sense. It always just kind of felt like a little bit of a weird downgrade or something.
Alright.
The back sprite in Emerald or whatever, like in those Gen 3 games, it just felt like it got
Hisuian
became
Decidui.
I think it's a really good. I think it's an A.
I
If
think
you
it's better
below
than
A.
Decidueye. So it goes up to S tier if that's where we're putting it. I think it's.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay. That's what we're doing.
I don't think it's as good
I just think
as-
it's better.
You think it's better? Ron,
I think
you
it's
I think-
better. I think it's well.
ju-
I think it's weird. I mean, I appreciate it because it's a Hisuian form. I think it is weird that it's red as a
It's odd.
starter. Yes, but like in a lineup of 3 starter Pokemon, it would it would look like a fire type. You know, like if
Well, no,
Empoleon was red, you'd be
We
like,
have
"Oh,
to
that's
have like they have
No,
to
no, I'm
change
just-
things
I'm
up
just-
sometimes, you know.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it's
I
just
just think it's
autumnal,
weird.
isn't it? But I think it's not S tier like regular Decidueye, but I think it's still good. Where do you fall on it, Ron?
You know what I just realized? It's like it's literally just it's cosplaying as Blaziken. It's another bird trying to be red in a kicker like Blaziken. I just realized.
I think it's just 1 tier below the normal Decidueye. Which
Yeah,
is
I
A.
agree. All right. Yeah, let's do those Typhlosions. We're gonna upset everyone because everyone loves Typhlosion, but I think it's
Typhlosion is technically a B plus. You know, it's not nothing crazy. I love it, but there's nothing crazy about it.
I think it's lacking in the same ways that Meganium is lacking. Even though it's like if we're talking Gen 2 sprite, back sprite, fighting red, it is SSS tier. It's the best thing in the
but
world.
that's like the
it's good.
emotion of the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like
I
just
actually-
seeing
you're
it's like it's like a bear. It's just like growling and it's
I get
on
that.
fire. It's
Well,
incredible.
because you're also seeing the top half of it. You're not seeing the bottom, and the bottom
Yeah.
half is the worst part of it.
Yeah,
It's like-
exactly. Yeah.
I also think that
That's a really good point.
if we were talking about like Cyndaquil, I'd have a totally different opinion. I'd be like Cyndaquil's S tier for the first starters, but like if we were talking
Yeah.
about Typhlosion, I think it's like B tier.
Yeah.
Hisuian version is a weird
I think
one.
it's more interesting.
Could go up. Could be
I don't know
on-
if I love it more, but it's definitely it would be fine if it's an A. I wouldn't mind.
It is more interesting, but I think if Typhlosion is B, it's got to be below that. It's I don't think
Wow.
it's
Well,
better.
you think below, I think above. Ron thinks a little above, so I'm gonna keep it in B.
No,
I'm gonna keep it.
above and B. Yeah, makes sense.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's talk about
because Quilava would clear this. That should be the next one. The
Venusaur,
mid tier ones are so good.
Venusaur.
Venusaur,
I don't
love-
like it.
but
It's
I like it.
Just
it
I
could be low
feel
A,
like
it could be high B.
Bulbasaur has this like it's so nimble. It has this agility to it, right?
Bulbasaur is nimble.
Oh yeah, 100%. In the anime, he's like Bulbasaur.
All of them
and
are
he's
fast
like
in the anime. I just
he's
never
like-
thought of it like that.
that's how I always think about Bulbasaur. It's like it can move, it can keep up, and Venusaur just like slows down. I like Turtwig to Torterra because it's
Mm-hmm.
they're all slow, you know. I don't know. And then when I
I'm
don't know.
fine with my Pokemon evolving when they evolve, like becoming
Yes,
Yeah,
that
changes,
makes
slower.
yeah.
Like that's not a thing that I think about, but that's.
I,
Funny
I think
that you
Venusaur's probably A tier.
I'm thinking about why maybe I don't like it. It's yeah. I just feel like I'm never. It could be the circumstances of when I use it, which is like there's a lot of grass types, there's a lot of poison types in Kanto, so I just never opt to use it. I'd rather use
Alright.
Victory Bell. I'd rather use literally any other poison.
I would
type.
rather use Victory Bell over it, but that's just me. Put it in
'Cause
A.
I
It
love
doesn't matter.
Bulbasaur.
It's fine.
Love
Where
Ivysaur.
is Blastoise also in A with them, or is that down in B?
It's not the worst in my opinion. It's not. I think
No.
they're all equal tiered in my opinion.
It does what it does what
Says on the tin.
Rillaboom does.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why Infamous Trainer. I agree. That's what I was saying. Like speed in the anime, everything's fast or slow whenever it needs to be.
Yeah.
Sure, that's a good
Sorry,
point.
chat. By the way, I know I've
What's
been
up,
very
Yo-Yo?
inactive with the chat over the last like half hour. I'm very, very sorry. All right,
That's a
well,
good
look,
point. They
we've
can
got
all
1,
be
2,
fast.
3, 4, 5, and then we'll have some quick final thoughts and anything we think is horribly wrong. But let's do
Yep.
Incineroar.
Cineroar also A for me. Like I think it's just very entertaining Pokemon.
I agree. What do you think?
I think it's got the fact that it's tied to a job. It takes me out.
But
I
it
see
naturally
that. I do
comes
see that.
across. Like just a heal isn't technically a. It's like
Sure.
saying
a
acting is a
contrarian.
job, but we act all the time. You know.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. In the way as I've seen it, it takes me out. Even when it's like running on all fours, I'm like, it takes me out.
Do you know what? I do see what you're
clip,
saying. I'm gonna put it just above Rillaboom for the moment, but like,
It's
You
It's
can-
probably it's C tier for me.
I
you
think
think it's C? You think it's A?
I've
I think it
started
might
to
be
like it and
B.
appreciate it, but
I think it's B. So then put it in
It's
B.
a
But if that's odd.
long
It
healing
looks
process.
odd and it looks like odd below all of those things in A though. For me.
well, that's because Embor's up there.
The thing is, Incineroar has, because I agree with what you're saying, Dusty, but and like that's definitely how I felt about it when it first came out. Over time, like the mythos of Incineroar, which is this sort of like,
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like the community of like, oh god, it's Incineroar, it's competitive,
Yeah.
it's intimidate, it's
That's made
you
me
know, it can
appreciate
Smash
it.
Bros. It has sort of maybe changed my view of it a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe it's B, maybe it's A. It's like high B, low A. I don't know. It's in that zone for me.
I think Litten is like the ultimate starter Pokemon, and
It's
for
a great
me,
Pokemon. I don't think it's the ultimate starter Pokemon. But
It's so
perfect
it's.
Pokemon.
I think it's a. It does. Yeah.
Steve, I don't
want
wanna talk about
so
it.
much, and I just feel like Incineroar is just not what I thought.
But the thing is
it
that the
was when I
reasons why
chose it.
you like I watched your tier list and the reasons why you like Litten
Yeah.
is like all the things that you like about Litten are exist in Pokemon you don't like.
yeah.
Like Inteleon, for example. Like all the neat
Yeah.
little things that it has that you
Yeah.
don't see. Like Inteleon has all those neat little things that you can't see until you see it move or whatever. But like
Sure.
All right, let's do
Yeah.
Primarina.
I
Underrated.
B plus Pokemon, maybe even A minus for in my opinion. But like,
Okay. What did you
we
say,
can't put
Dusty?
everything in A.
The thing that I think the only real
I'm looking
thing
for a
that I
letter.
dislike
I'm looking for a
about it-
letter, Dusty. I'm gonna wrap things up soon. I'm looking for a letter.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. So, yeah, I can't give a reason.
You get give a quick reason with your letter.
Give I'm gonna say like C or B. I think it's the only starter that is purely aquatic in the same way like a fish would be. It like, which doesn't make sense in like where a trainer would be, which is on land.
Interesting.
You know,
Was-
like a Serperior can slither, but every other Pokemon here can move around easily on the
I don't
land.
know. Primarina's.
Like if Goldeen was, if Seaking was my starter, I'm like,
I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it low B, and the reason for that is that you said it was like high B, maybe A, Ron, and then you said it was low B, maybe C, and I agree it's low B, maybe C, but I'm gonna bump it up to B. I think I would have lent C if you hadn't said maybe A.
I'll put it in C.
Oh, Ron.
All
Alright.
Pokemon you like.
Meowscarada.
Overrated. I do like it.
Well, it was hated before it was overrated.
Oh, was
so
it
let's
o-
not think about it. People didn't like it when it was first revealed, so I don't like.
For
it's
me,
like-
it is in a similar boat
I'm
to
thinking about
Incineroar.
the mid stage.
It's in a similar kind of place to Incineroar. I might even slightly prefer it to Incineroar, actually. I don't know.
I like it more than Incineroar. I think it's pretty good.
I like it more
I
than Incineroar,
honestly-
and I like Incineroar a lot. So like,
Honestly, based on this criteria,
Right.
it might actually be A tier.
Maybe-
Yeah, I think it might be.
we could put in.
I love that it's cape. You can see like the veins of the leaves. That's really cool to me.
Skeledirge.
I know
many-
Toby doesn't like Skeledirge.
I think it's
Or-
I love my Skeledurs when I'm playing Scarlet and Violet, but when I look at the design, when I look at like the actual, I just think it's kind of a mess. But when I'm playing the game and it's just like my dragon, it's like my
I get what you mean.
like You know, it's like my Gen 9 Charizard, right?
Oh, thanks,
It's like
Dumbadoodle.
this alligator. I do like it a lot.
It is trying to
pro-
do a lot, and I could say that they could streamline it, but it's still like super entertaining for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a. If I see it, I'm not having a bad time.
No.
So I would put it at least a B. So
I'd
I would
probably put it in
high
B.
B. High B. For
It
me.
feels awkward, and there are things that I think do need to be changed in it, so I put it in B. But I like it, so that makes sense. It's in B.
Toby thinks it's D.
I don't know. These aren't really in an order. They're in a vague order, but yeah, it's B. It's B. And Quackquaval is, for me, got way too much happening. That's just my feelings about it. What are you?
I think it has too much happening when it's like animated. As it like
Yeah.
when it's just standing, I think it's not too much. I think it's like the limit of
I
too
think
much.
it's very similar, like a couple tweaks, and it's got the same like physique or whatever as Blaziken, which would be S tier for me. But I don't know. Yeah,
I think
It's like low B, it's high C.
Yeah, C sounds right to me. But what about where? Dusty?
yeah, probably C,
All right.
maybe B.
So okay.
Maybe I enjoy
B. I'll put it
Meganium
in
more
B.
if that's what you're asking. I do like Meganium.
All right. Okay. Now the question is just simply, as we go through it all, I can
I
see
think Delphox is too low.
we
It
have.
is my least favorite. I just don't think it's a D. I think the worst starter is still a C. Not
Okay,
even.
well then that's
Like,
fine.
just
We
me.
can, I can, if that's an order, like I can agree to Delphox being that's fine. It's not a problem. The question is just very simply, is there a Pokemon that you think is in the wrong tier that you want to advocate for? And this is the last bit of the stream. We'll wrap up about half past. Is there a Pokemon that
was
you're just
fun.
like, it's just in the wrong box? It's so clearly in your opinion in the wrong box. For me, I
I
obviously know
don't-
that's Rillaboom, but how do you guys feel?
Cinderace.
You think Cinderace?
You think it
Yeah,
should be D?
I think it's just underwhelming. I mean,
Well, hold on.
I guess
I don't
Ron,
think it's-
Ron, what's
I
your
don't
one?
think it's the. Well, can we counter?
Yeah, we definitely can. We'll go through them, but I
It
want to know your one
technically
first.
is
my
Cinder- I
pick
don't-
is.
My
Dusty's
thing is,
wrong.
I think Cinderace and Chestnut should be in B, but they're not. So like, that
think
technically
this-
counters his thing.
Well, hang
So I
on.
think it should be
Dusty,
in
you
A and
think
C
Cinderace is in the wrong box because it should be where?
I don't see. This is the thing. I'm kind of regressing. Like, I don't like the design. I think it's like a bad. Like, I think there's a lot of things about it that just don't work for me, and and I've seen better iterations that look more competent, that look more, that just look more reliable as a starter Pokemon, right?
What do you mean reliable?
Like I'm thinking about like if I got Empoleon on my back, he's got it. He's got the sword hands.
Cinderace is like a football captain. It's like those are like known as
Yeah.
reliable things, I guess. It's just all
But-
about like perspective.
Yeah.
It's just
I
like-
guess how would I feel if it was like a basketball player?
Oh, I
Maybe
just
you
want
would
to
like
be.
it more.
Would
I
I
don't know.
like that all of a sudden better? I don't know.
I just
Maybe.
want to be clear about what you're advocating for. So, Ron,
He wants to be lower. I
You
want it
think-
to be
oh,
higher.
I
So it should
see.
stay
Cinderace,
where
I
it
think,
is.
is lower.
He was confused about that.
I see. Okay, well, I mean, in that case,
It stays.
yeah, because I kind of think it's like maybe it's like.
I'll lower it and then Ron can move it up to
Yeah,
A.
no, but like I
And I don't even love Cinderace. I just like it. Like, like
It's definitely on that line. Like I don't think it's like
I think I like the
I can see.
Pokemon.
I
What did you say earlier, Ron? I think I just like things that are like these like monsters. These like monsters.
I love monsters too. If you look at my top 50, a lot of them are just intimidating guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
And
my favorite.
I'm
Some,
not
some
gonna.
of my favorites are like Porygon 2, Sableye. I like Scizor
Porygon
a
2
lot.
doesn't seem like a monster that much.
No, it's
but,
not.
like,
I'm not
But
going
that's
to be
like-
able to.
It's like the Shouldermon.
I'm not going to be able to convince you guys, which is fine. That's
Thumper
fine.
S.
I think Rillaboom is in the wrong tier, and
Where
I
would you put it?
think it's in B tier.
You can put it in high B if you want.
That's
no,
fine.
but
I'm
here's
fine
the
with
thi-
that.
Here's the thing. I think that like there are every other Pokemon in A tier. I'm like, I get it. I
Yeah.
do. I totally get it. And then for Alligator, I have to try and not like hold that bias. But I
Here's
really
what's
think
weird.
it's not gonna say
If
it,
you
but-
put Rillaboom in B, you're gonna have to also put, I think, Masquerade in B.
really,
I think we got a little. I think we got a little saucy halfway through because if Feraligatr is B tier, like a lot of those ones in A tier probably should be closer to Feraligatr. My Feraligatr would be higher.
Well, that's
In
actually
A
what I'm
tier.
thinking. Like
I
I think
agree.
we're skewed. I think we're skewed up. I think it needs to be kind of reset in like
Okay,
proportional.
if we
you know,
move
like-
for Alligator up, which is the only other one I did feel was maybe a little wrong, which ones are we moving down then? Do you think?
it's not that I moved down. Is that like, for example, Masquerade, Rillaboom, and Feraligatr are like B plus.
Yeah, I would maybe
I don't know.
move
I don't know what to do about that.
Embor
No, I think Embor
to
is.
be.
I genuinely think Embor really is like. There's nothing wrong with it. I get the head size maybe, but other than that, like, I think
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
lack
like,
of the neck,
out of
maybe,
all
but
of
pigs
these-
don't have necks. Yeah.
yeah. Out of all of these, if I imagine one of these like next to me and being like a badass, reliable starter, it is one of the
Yeah.
top 3. Like I would think.
I'm
you know?
actually.
See, I think Decidueye,
Hmm.
it's like I'm taller
Wait,
than
sorry.
Decidueye.
Wait, sorry. We're
That
talking about
can't
Embor.
happen.
I was talking about Embor, right? Just make sure that you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I'm thinking now like Decidueye is like probably smaller than me. Like he might have to stand behind me. You know what
All
I'm
these,
saying?
almost all these are smaller.
Do you
I got
think
my like
um,
spatula. I got like a kitchen knife.
Do
I'm
you
like, I'll
guys
take-
think
I'll take care of
Hisuian
it.
Decidueye is in the correct place right now?
I think it's cool.
I think it's
What is
cool.
it? It's based on like a Ronin, isn't it?
Yeah, basically.
It's just kind of. It's just like this, and I
Okay.
love when he puts his like hands in his pockets. He does the reboot thing where he's just like chilling.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay,
Size.
and then here's my other question: do we all agree with S tier? Because I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. I do.
Everything but Decidueye, but yeah, sure.
Decidueye.
not my
I think
channel.
if you were to poll people, I generally think Decidueye would be in the top like.
Well, that's
5
pretty
starters.
successful.
like
Let's
it.
do a little. I'm gonna do a little poll
This
in
is
the
our
chat.
list.
I'm gonna do a little poll in chat. Is Decidueye S tier? Is
Oh, that's so annoying.
Decid?
So there's nothing you would change about Decidueye?
No.
Yeah.
Um.
This is why these are fun.
Wait. What? Oh God!
Oh,
no.
Jim,
What have I
JC's
done?
here.
I've started Q and A.
Decidueye S tier. No, you can't input. No, you just have to.
Start a poll. Oh, I see. Is...
Wait, hidden power can't be inside saying no here.
Oh, I thought it was. Oh. Wait, Loomies must be watching the stream. It wasn't me. I thought it was. I thought it was.
All right, I've
Dusty.
started a poll. Let's see what everyone says. Is Decidueye S tier? Otherwise, I'm generally
Well,
happy
obviously,
with this.
the average
I think-
person wouldn't say any Pokemon is S tier. Like if you're gonna ask, oh, do you think Blaziken's S tier? I don't think the average person would say
Yeah,
it's S
but,
tier.
okay, but here's the thing, Ron.
It's winning.
Right now it's 50-50, so it's like whatever. I actually don't
Well,
care
the
what
fact
any
that
of them
50-50 think
answer.
it's S tier is pretty impressive.
I don't care
Yeah.
what any of them answer. I think it is S tier, and it's our thing, so they can suck it really. But I love you.
This is. I mean, I think it's fair generally.
What was cool about this is again we get to see a more objective tier list than if we just did our own tier
It's
list
true,
of starters.
true,
Yeah,
true.
and it's always cool to
I
see that.
also, I also think that we had some really good discussions today, right?
Yeah,
it's not so
we
much about the
did.
ranking, about the journey.
It's about the discussion.
It's about
absolutely.
the real starters are the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Go to the tier list website. If we don't find a tier list within 5 to 10 minutes, we will do the
Okay, tier
the
list.
Pokemon
Okay,
list.
all right.
The,
Hang on.
the only reason I'm not 100% on like automatically wanting to do the Pokemon naming thing
Gonna
is
take a long
because
time.
like isn't it less impressive if it's 3 people doing it? So it's like
Yeah.
what's the point of it?
Yeah, I guess what you mean. Okay, so hang on. We're gonna. Give me just a moment, and I will get
But
the window.
If we do have like a time limit and it's literally every Pokemon, then yeah, I guess it's still impressive.
Yeah.
But it's just like
Display
what's the point of now
capture.
doing it
What's
all?
funny about this is like in my mind, I go, oh, I can imagine every Pokemon. Like I think of any random obscure Pokemon and I'm like, I got it.
Yeah,
Stantler,
like,
I got
Also,
it.
like 3
Muscle,
Poketubers,
I
like
got it.
what's impressive about that? 3 Poketubers naming every
Yeah, true.
Pokemon.
It's
Looks
actually
like
harder
every-
than it looks. All right, hold up.
Three
So,
individual people guess every single Pokemon with no time limit, and it's 3 times easier. That's
Right.
the title.
get rid of wrong.
Yeah, no
quickly.
stakes. Absolutely no stakes.
Hold up, and then I'm gonna add.
We're getting rid of me?
Yeah,
Okay,
just for a
bye.
moment.
No, he's
Bye.
gonna. I see it. I see the vision. I see the vision.
I gotta then re-add. Is it this one? Maybe.
The chat's like a baby right now. They can't see Ron, so they think he's not here.
They
like, "Where is he?
they're like,
where did Ron
where'd
go?"
he go? What's going on?
When I come back, I will be True Green 8.
Yes. That's the level up. Oh, on the
Uh,
on that podcast you did, Ron, I think did you say you're gonna like there was a chance you might rebrand? That was new info for me.
There's a chance of anything.
That's true. That's a good
Doesn't mean
point.
it's happening.
Yeah.
It's like,
Just
yeah, there's like
set
a
the record
10%
straight.
chance. There's a 10% chance.
I had never
it's-
considered it.
It wouldn't be
I
a
was
huge
like,
read.
oh,
It's
I was
literally
like,
just
he'll
True
never
Green
do it.
7 to True Green Ron. It's not that big of a change.
My problem is if I ever change my name, like I can't do the Hoodlum Callum. I can't do that because I'm Dusty Liam. But like They're both first names at that point. Like no one calls you True.
You can do. You can do Dusty Liam. I don't know. Why can't you do Dusty Liam?
I don't know, because people call me Dusty, so I'm like, are they gonna call me
Dusty
Dusty? They're gonna. I don't know.
Yeah, they're still gonna call you Dusty. What, do you not
'Cause
want
my
them to
name's
call you
Liam.
Liam? So they'll call you Liam. Why is that a problem?
It's not a problem. It just feels confusing. I'm like, there's two first names.
Like if I change it to True Green Ron, they're still gonna call. Some people are gonna still call me True Green.
Do people who calls you True Green?
So people who don't know my name. If they don't know my name and
Sure.
like if they don't watch my videos, they'll call me True Green or True
Yeah.
Green 7.
They go, "What up,
But, like,
7?"
Nobody's called me 7.
Your grandma calls you True Green.
My
That's
grandma's
how
dead.
She has known you always. All right, we're gonna do a
Rip.
tier list. But what tier list are we gonna do? A Pokemon tier list, I assume.
I feel like this needs to be. Yeah. Okay. I want to say short, because
Yeah,
on
nothing
our
that's like a 400 plus entries.
Yeah.
All right.
The last Hidden Power podcast tier list was 7 hours long. It was 2 days of recording and insane.
Oh, like, dude,
Painful.
I disagree with all your opinions sometimes.
Oh, dude,
Without-
I love him so much. And I love that even on the last show he was like, "Oh yeah, it's a classic Soul Silver take," but like
Soul Silver is the opposite of my.
he
take.
has
yeah, same.
every
I don't-
wrong opinion.
I can't imagine I can't see where he gets to some things. I'm like, how did you get to this conclusion?
Is the difference? Isn't that just he has different like taste? He has different philosophy.
yeah,
and
absolutely.
different philosophy on just looking at things. Like,
Yeah, like he's
okay,
like he really is an edge lord.
I'm
like, in
gonna
the in
focus
the
you all
purest
up.
Sense.
I'm gonna
Like,
focus
he
you all up.
loves edgy
Okay,
things.
can you see the stream?
yeah.
All right, we got some options: mythical Pokemon, starter Pokemon,
I don't think something simple like that would be interesting. 'Cause, like, we've already probably
Games.
done that on our channels or talked about stuff
different
like that.
types. I haven't done any, so but whatever you wanna,
We've only done generations, and then we've done I think we've done EVs,
um,
and it wasn't really I mean, it was a tier list, but I think mythical sounded kind of fun because there's some weird mythicals. But what's the basis of like what we're judging them off? The design or how
depends
well
what
they
they
Well,
are?
I don't know. We haven't even decided.
mythical
Let's
they
decide on
are.
a tier list first, and then we could do a tier list on all leaked Scarlet
Ooh,
and Violet Pokemon.
The Gen 1
I'm actually
Pokemon
about to
sprites?
do that, so don't do that.
Okay.
Oh wait, leaked Scarlet and Violet Pokemon? Oh, I thought you meant like something else.
No, no,
Like,
no.
What about the Gen 1 Pokemon sprites? That sounds kind of fun.
Yeah, actually, I'm down for that. You
Because
wanna do that?
it kind of because
Isn't
of
that
that
kind
like,
of
one
objective
variable.
though? It's be like, okay, that's not a good sprite. That's a good sprite.
Okay,
like-
let's fight
No,
on
but-
that. No,
but
that's
some- but
perfect.
some of
If
the
you think
weird
it's
ones-
objective, if you think it's objective,
I don't think it's
nah.
objective.
It's
Some of the
totally
sprites
subjective.
are like weird on like in an appealing way.
This is hard
like-
as well because for me,
I just think it'll be very
Kingler-
straightforward, where it's like that's either a good or it's so bad it's
Oh,
good,
sure.
or that's it. And it's like it's not.
These
like,
are the yellow
wait.
sprites though, so these are
I
actually not bad.
actually
These are pretty
can't
good.
because the yellow sprites are all so good. So okay,
yeah, the other
moving
sprites
on.
are good. So it's like, what do
Chat,
you want
help
me
us
to
out
rank?
here. What are we doing here?
I
We
was
don't know
thinking,
what we're
like,
doing.
green version.
Megas? Oh, Megas?
I prefer Gigantamax honestly in terms of like
They are good.
because like Megas, everybody's talked about them, or like again like it's just like they're like the opinions on Megas are gonna be like standard, while
Yeah.
Gigantamax will all have different opinions and like different reasons for liking the Gigantamaxes. That
Oh
we
wait, so you want to do Gigantamax?
if we're doing a gimmick like that.
So dumb.
A horrible tier list would be a bunch of Poketubers argue about Bryce's Pokemon.
Yeah, right.
I forgot his name was even Bryce.
What is a Lieutenant Surge's
Or isn't it
Pokemon
Price?
tier list? What is
Like for
this?
example, if this was like an established stream where like we are here for like
What is
3
this?
hours, we could definitely do like like just
every
Yeah.
single
the main series.
character,
but, like,
yeah.
But like no, we want, like a basic.
They have so many tier lists.
Yeah, well, I mean that they're the site for it. They're the ones.
They know
Okay.
it, yeah.
We're doing Pokemon to eat. These are
Oh,
all the.
I did this already. I love this. I love this. topic.
You've
Let's
already
do it.
done this.
We did this for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but
And what's funny is there's some Pokemon on this that are not edible. Like Reggie Steel is not edible right
Wow,
now. F tier.
Not with that attitude.
Inedible. Well, I guess it's a mineral. I guess it isn't. Is it
You
made of
gotta,
iron?
you gotta put it on the pan first. You've
sure, it's
sent
the
a. Oh,
frying
hang on a
pan.
second. I've been sent a suggestion Discord server, so I am going to check that
This
out.
is fun.
We're going to spend an hour totally doing this.
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
Shiny Pokemon in Colosseum. No, I'm not super fussed on that, but thank you though. It's a good suggestion.
This is gonna be on VOD Keeper Toby.
Ed, yeah, I'm gonna have to start a more Keeper Toby to go to host this stuff.
Okay, here's just me. We can totally do the eating thing, but when it comes to tier lists where there's literally no, like, you can just make up joke reasons why everything is there, then what's the point of the
Yeah.
tier list? Like, I hate when
Yeah.
people like just start like dismantling everything and there's no point to
Rom,
the tier list.
we're not trying to find
No, there's gotta be
objective
an
truth
objective.
here. I
I'm
don't think
with
we're
you.
trying to find.
It's not objective, but like if there's no point, like for example, eating, I can see Toby just for random ones being like, if you tried hard enough, based on nothing.
Okay.
I hate when people do that.
alright, I wouldn't.
You know what I'm talking
okay.
I know what
I'm
you're saying.
sorry.
Then what's the point of doing the tier list if you're just gonna not
What
really
I want to
think about
do,
it?
yeah, like if we're talking about like if Mareep is on the food Pokemon tier list, let's unpack that, right? Let's look at its dex entry.
No, I agree. I
Well,
agree.
there's nothing to unpack. It's a
You
sheep.
can
You
eat
might as well
lamb.
just eat it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's electrical. You know, it's like, does it have an
How
electrical
about we do the
sac that
inanimate
could, like,
object
kill you?
Pokemon?
We can do
Yeah,
an
that's
animate
cool.
object balloon.
All right, we had a unanimous agreement, and it's only 83 long, so that's actually pretty cool.
But what's like, what do we base? Is it just again?
Yeah.
design?
go
Okay.
Gen
So we've
9.
chosen our tier list. Now
Okay.
we're just choosing.
Like, how much of a?
How successful it is as a Pokemon, despite having the fact that it's an object Pokemon, which is against.
What
it a
the
little
hell
bit.
is Fiona?
No, I
doing?
think object Pokemon are great. I think
Me too, but it's
Well,
just
it
it's harder
it depends
to.
on the Pokemon. Like
for
some
it
of these
to
I like
be-
more than
Okay.
others.
so it's kind of on
Um,
potential.
The questions
Or-
are. This is not all the object mon though. There's others that people aren't considering. Like Dusclops is technically an object mon. You know.
What?
Yeah. What about like?
Dusclops? Really?
There's got to be
based on a
more than that.
lantern.
Hmm.
I feel like this, and Grimer's not
Even-
an object.
Cast form is technically an object mon. It's just like a molecule. It's a cloud.
Is Lantern
Yeah.
based on a lantern?
That's a good point. Like Solosis, or like,
Nah.
No, that's not.
I mean, it's
Solosis is
organic,
not-
but it is like. I guess that's just like what it's.
We can do
like-
this though. This is a normal. This is.
Let's do
this is
this.
fine.
But why don't we? Okay, rather than like how good we think they are, why don't we do something like how usable in day-to-day life we think they are?
That's. They're what? What?
How usable in day-to-day life they are? They're the object mons.
I want to.
I'd rather
these
do-
designs.
Basically, what they were designed to be: a Pokemon, not a useful item in the
I feel
real
like
world.
there's so many more that are not on this list.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
Milcery is not. Milcery is milk. That's not an object.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
it
sure
should
about.
evolve. It should evolve with the metal coat and become like a cup of milk or
Well,
something.
I agree that one's not a good tier list, but like it's a good. Come on,
I think
making this
I think we
difficult.
have different philosophies when it comes to tier lists. You want to rank them based on something that. Is
I want to
monstrous.
like I want to like attack Game Freak. I want to be like, this was a mistake. Or
I
like,
want to
or
do the
like,
opposite.
this
I want to
doesn't make
praise.
sense in game.
I want to praise the good ones.
We're gonna
and
find
I don't-
something.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yes.
find something. That tier was more possessed
I think
items.
maybe just something like myth. If that list was more comprehensive, I would do the object mon. But it could also be
Yeah.
like, I think like mythicals or legend. There's a lot of legendaries, but like that could be fun. That's pretty cookie
When it
cutter.
comes to tier lists, I want to rank it based on what the person who made the thing intended. You know.
Yeah.
So if it's music,
Yeah.
we're ranking it based on the music, not based on how many words there are or something. You know.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Ooh, what is this?
What is this?
What?
But obviously, you're the leader. If it's something that you're interested in, actually,
Sure.
then you know.
That's a good point. We're screaming at Toby on his own. Thank you for inviting us.
No,
Toby.
you've bullied me out of anything I want to do. I don't even think we should do Pokemon, to be honest.
It wasn't. No. I liked both of them.
I don't
It's
want
just
to.
I didn't like.
I wouldn't want
Oh,
to.
the
I didn't want to be
story's
too
over.
jovial for you. I'm sorry.
I didn't like the criteria.
Yeah,
I was
well,
fine with the lists. I didn't like the criteria.
now I have the criteria.
Yeah, what is maybe like the early route birds?
um.
But like, what is the criteria for that? Like, what makes a good?
Okay.
You need to have an understanding.
I don't want to
the
rate this.
relevance.
Okay, so everyone, make sure you subscribe to Hidden Power Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to True Green 7. Make sure you get a good night's sleep. You know, if you're a particularly EP kind of person, just make sure you're resting well because your body needs it. And we love you, and we will catch up with you soon, maybe with more of this stuff. This was very impromptu, but I'm glad I did it.
This was fun.
Right, later, guys. Let's play some Pokemon soon.
See ya.
Bye.